What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and today we're going to explore one of my pastimes, Magic the Gathering. And we're going to open some free packs. But first, join me over in Gemstone Legends. It's a fantastic match 3 RPG game, and it's players who get in early on games like this who are at the biggest advantage. Not only will you help the channel out by using the link in the description of this video, but if you use the code #lion_2021 you're gonna get a guaranteed free epic hero named Elador, along with 5 more gold scrolls, that's more heroes, and a bunch of gold and gems. And after you download the game, you're going to have access to the beginner events, which is going to get you one more free epic hero named Soliana, and a bunch of free legendary equipment and a platinum scroll, which is again another free epic or legendary hero. Guys, wow. Just make sure to use that code within 3 hours of downloading the game and after completing the tutorial. And I will see you over in Gemstone Legends. Alright, so Magic the Gathering is a game I've played in paper for a long time, but when the pandemic hit, it kind of kept me out of the local game store, and I was playing other games like Empires and Puzzles and Gemstone Legends and Call of Duty and things like that. And one of my friends had told me about MTG Arena, and I had just never hopped into it, mainly because I like to play the older formats like Modern and Legacy and things like that, and at the time MTG Arena was only standard, right? But MTG Arena has been around for a little while now, and my friend keeps playing it, and he says how good it is and that I should get into it, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Maybe I should have been playing this more during the pandemic since it's a really socially distanced, friendly type of game, but we're going to do it today. Better late than never, right? So let's check this out, because I hear that you can get some free packs whenever you jump in, so we're going to do that. Alright, let's switch over to game mode here. Now, if you don't know how to play Magic the Gathering, I'm not going to teach you how to do that today. There's plenty of other videos out there to show you how to do that. I will get into that into the future, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you can make sure to catch those. But today we're just going to get started with some free packs, basically. There are some codes that say they're expired, but I tried one and it worked. And that is a code called PlayRavnica that I put in, and I got this free Guilds of Ravnica pack. So I'm going to try a few others that say they're expired, and if they work, I'm going to put them in the description of this video for you so you can also use them. But how you redeem codes is you click on this little gem icon here, and you have redeem codes up in the upper right hand corner there. So I already tried PlayRavnica, that's uppercase P, play, and then uppercase Ravnica with the uppercase R, but no spaces. Alright, let's try PlayWarSpark. Let's see if that does anything. PlayWarSpark. Oh, we got it! Oh my gosh. These codes say they expired July 1st, 2020. And there it is. Alright. I'm so glad to see that one worked. Okay, let's try another one. We're going to do Play M20. So this should get us 3 core set of 2020 packs. Play M20. There we go. And I am going to open all these up. So, oh man, this is awesome. Alright, let's do PlayEldraine. Oh man. This feels like crazy because in paper, to get free cards like this is like unheard of. I mean, you have to like win in pre-release events and things like that to get free stuff, but oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Okay, how about PlayIkoria? There's another one. Oh, I can't wait to see what cards I get. And you know what? I've been out of the game for a little while, so I'm not going to know immediately off the bat what cards are good. I still have a sense of like what removal is good and powerful creatures and, you know, what they do generally and things like that. So I'm hoping to get some good like mythics and things. Okay, so let's do PlayZendikar. Wow, guys, I'm like blown away here. TryKaladesh. Oh my gosh. PlayKaldheim. Man, I don't even recognize some of these names because I haven't played for a couple of years, like year and a half. And Strixhaven. Let's play Strixhaven. Oh my gosh, we got them all. Some of these had expiration dates, so maybe they just don't expire at all. And that's actually making me wonder if I'm missing some. So if you think that I'm missing some free packs and you want to share those with other people, go ahead and put the code in the comments so other people can claim those too. But I'm really excited to open these up. Or I just wonder. I wonder if you're allowed to enter like drafts with these, you know, like free drafts. So we got our decks.
You have 2 ranks, one for constructed
Here we go.
One for limited. Your constructed rank is affected by ranked games, while your limited rank is tied to draft and sealed events.
And so that's what I'm talking about, is doing drafts with some of these packs. So wow. It doesn't look like I can use the packs I just got. It looks like I have to probably use the current season. I'm sure of it. All right, so let's open some packs. Let's start with Guilds of Ravnica. All right, so there's going to be a lot of cards here, and I actually have played Guilds of Ravnica, so I do know what these cards do. We've got the 2 uncommons here, Affectionate Indrik, and we've got Creeping Chill. Now, I could read uncommons all day long, but I'm just going to go ahead and it's going to have me like select them all first before I can look at the rare. Oh no, here we go. Oh, it's a mythic rare wild card. Oh. That's really cool. Oh my gosh. Really? How rare are these mythic? I feel like getting a mythic rare wild card on the very first pack is like, that's got to be rare, right? Oh my gosh. That's cool. Okay, let's go again. All right, I love Is It, by the way. One of my favorite color combinations. All right, we got a rare. This is Omnispell Adept. For 2 and a blue, you can tap to cast an instant or sorcery spell from a hand without paying its mana cost. That is a pretty powerful card if you can get it to work right. That looks like one that's probably going to be better used in Commander or something like that. All right. And we've got Find and Finality. So this is like double card. So you can use one part of it, return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, and then Finality. You may put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, and then all creatures get -4/-4 until end of turn. Cool. All right, let's start with War of the Spark now. Looks like a rare. It's a mythic. Finale of Promise. You may cast up to 1 target instant card and or up to 1 target sorcery card from your graveyard, each with mana value X or less without paying their mana costs. If a spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. If X is 10 or more, copy each of those spells twice. You may choose new targets for the copy. So that's a lot of words. And one that, you know, again, looks probably pretty good for like Commander or something like that. Which I'm sure you can't play Commander in this. Maybe you can. I really haven't explored MTG Arena all that much, but it seems like more of a standard format thing. And it looks like we got a common wild card here, which is cool. Gotta love those wild cards. Alright, we got Tolsimir, Friend to Wolves. When Tolsimir, Friend to Wolves enters the battlefield, create Voja, Friend to Elves, a legendary 3/3 green and white wolf creature token. Whenever a wolf enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 3 life, and that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. That's interesting, because that gets to be a little bit of possibly removal. We got an uncommon wild card. And Blast Zone. I always love seeing lands come out of the rare slot. Blast Zone enters the field with a charge counter on it. Tap to add a colorless mana. You can do XX tap, put X charge counters on Blast Zone. 3 tap, sacrifice a Blast Zone, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of charge counters on Blast Zone. So that's really interesting and quite a powerful removal. Alright, Core Set 2020. God's Willing. That card can be so good sometimes. In fact, there's a lot of commons and uncommons that are going to be pretty good in this. I know I'm just kind of skipping over them, but I'm excited to see what the rares and the mythics are. Alright, Bag of Holding. It's an artifact that costs 1. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. 2 and a tap, draw a card, then discard a card. And 4 and tap, sacrifice Bag of Holding, return all cards exiled with Bag of Holding to their owner's hand. That's interesting. Very, very slow. It would take a long time to really get that to work. But there could be shenanigans with that card. Alright, we got a mythic. So for 2 and a white, we get Cavalier of Dawn, which is a vigilant creature, meaning they don't tap whenever you attack. When Cavalier of Dawn enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token. When Cavalier of Dawn dies, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. That's really interesting. So it says target non-land permanent, and its creator or its controller creates the 3/3 colorless golem artifact. So that means you could potentially remove something really powerful of theirs, but you could just, like, you know, destroy a dinky little thing of your own and create that. So choices. I like choices. All right, we got another mythic rare wild card. Oh my gosh. Am I just getting super lucky? Am I, like, never gonna have this luck again or something? Like, tell me in the comments if you play MTG Arena. Like, I've only opened a few packs and I have 2 of these mythic rare wild cards already. That's gotta be pretty amazing. There's a couple wild cards in this one, actually. All right, so Throne of Eldraine. This starts the set that I have not played, actually. Okay. Castle Lochthwain. Castle Lochthwain enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp. That's interesting. Tap to add black mana, 1 black, draw a card, then you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. Wow. So this land looks like it's really incentivizing you to just play everything out. And that you want to have nothing in your hands, so you're not losing much life, and you can just keep spending your black mana to draw more things. There's actually a really cool modern deck that's just mono black like this that, you know, drains the opponent of their life from the cards that you're using. I'm not going to go into detail right now, but this card would be really good in that deck. Where you just empty their hand. They can't really play the game, but you're refilling your hand. You're not taking that much damage from it. It's kind of cool. You know, if a land is ever going to draw you cards, I just have to say, that's pretty ridiculous. That's awesome. I like that card. Don't know if it's good in reality in the meta because I haven't played with it, but typically if you see a land that draws cards for free, oh my gosh. Oathsworn Knight is 1 black. Oathsworn Knight enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Oathsworn Knight attacks each combat if able. If damage would be dealt to Oathsworn Knight while it has a +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove a +1/+1 counter from it. Okay. Alright, we got another land, Castle Garenbrig. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest. So another one of these that, like, it's really incentivizing you to play mono, right? So tap to add a green and 2 green. Tap to add 6 green mana. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. So this deck really wants you to be a mono green creature deck. That'd be really... I had a mono green commander deck that was just amazing. This would have been awesome in it. Really, really awesome in it. All right, let's go to Theros. Beyond Death. All right, I'm excited about this. Theros, the original Theros was actually the very first set that I played in Magic the Gathering. Allure of the Unknown. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. An opponent exiles a non-land card from among them, and then you put the rest into your hand. That opponent may cast the exiled card without paying its mana costs. That is super cool. I love choices like this. It's so good. And, oh my gosh. They don't have to pay its mana cost. That's just crazy. But, like, you get all these cards. By the way, drawing cards is one of my favorite things in Magic the Gathering. Nessian Boar. 3 green. All creatures able to block Nessian Boar do so. Oh my gosh, 10 power. Whenever Nessian Boar becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller draws a card. Wow. Huh. Man, that thing is just like full steam ahead. I wonder if that card's good. I can't really tell. Alright, first, Rowan Games. As the saga enters, and after you draw, step... Oh, and after your draw step, add a lore counter. Sacrifice after 4. Create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw 2 cards and create a gold token. There's the gold token there on the right. Okay, Ikoria. Lake of the Behemoths, is that what it's called? Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy. I also love Simic. That's the green and the blue combo here. So for a green and a blue, you get this 2/2 legendary human druid. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. And there's a lot of little mana dorks that would go well with this. So 5 green and a blue, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That's a really high mana cost for that particular effect. Now, I see a red card that's catching my eye. Deals 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. That's interesting. That's like a really anti-aggro type of card. Portswood Crasher. Trample. It's a 6/6, by the way. It only costs 5. 2 red, green. So it's a Gruul card. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with trample deals combat damage to a player, create an XX green dinosaur beast creature token with trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures dealt to that player. Man, this one's just asking to be like pumped up huge. And then, oh my gosh. And then you want a bunch of trample creatures because it's when 1 or more creatures you control deals combat damage. You keep getting those tokens. That's sort of like card draw for red and green. Or card advantage, I should say. Alright, we got a rare wild card. So, The rate of getting mythic wild cards so far has been amazing. So 2 mythic wild cards to 1 rare wild card. What are the chances of actually getting these wild cards? I'm curious to know, so let me know if you know. All right, core set 2021. Teferi's Ageless Insight, 2 blue. If you would draw a card, except the first one you would draw on each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. And it's a legendary enchantment, so you can only have 1 on the battlefield at any given time. But this one's just begging to have shenanigans be played with it in Commander, for sure. It might be a little too expensive for like a standard meta or anything like that, but man, Commander is super fun if you've never played. I just see all the possibilities for Commander when I see this, especially in the blue cards. Alright, Gadrak the Crown Scourge. Costs 2 and a red. Flying. Gadrak the Crown Scourge can't attack unless you control 4 or more artifacts. That's really interesting. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn. There's a lot of creatures out there that are really powerful like this without the downside. So other than that, you know, treasure artifact over there, which of course sacrificing it to add a mana of any color whenever you're adding mana ahead of schedule, that's always powerful. But I wonder what kind of deck you would even try to build with him in it. Azusa Lost But Seeking? Are you kidding? This is an awesome card. I love this card. I've played with this card. This used to be a really expensive card on paper. I bet when it came out in the set, it drove the price down a bit. But yeah, for 2 and a green, you may play 2 additional lands on each of your turns. What? What? Especially when you mix this with like blue, where you can draw cards and things. If you're just drawing cards and playing all your lands, you can do anything you want. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this was in my I'm positive this was in my mono green commander deck, where I would just play giant creatures and lands, and it had lots of card draw in it too, because green can occasionally have card draw. So you know, you're drawing cards and you're playing lands. It's just unstoppable at that point. All right, let's play Zendikar Rising. Open these packs up. Shadow's Verdict, 3 black. Exile all creatures and planeswalkers with mana value 3 or less from the battlefield, and all creature and planeswalker cards with mana value 3 or less from all graveyards. It looks like it's a card to stop shenanigans. Just to kind of keep things at bay, because a lot can happen with graveyards and exiling and things like that. So that's just to kind of protect yourself. Charix the Raging Isle. 2 blue. Legendary Leviathan Crab. Spells your opponent's cast that target Charix the Raging Isle costs 2 more to cast. Wow, look at that body. Geez, like 0 attack, 17 defense. Anyway, 3 mana. Charix gets +X, -X until end of turn, where X is the number of islands you control. So this is definitely incentivizing playing mono blue, but oh my gosh. Yeah, so the ideal would be to have about 8 or 9 islands probably, and then it's just huge. That's a really cool card. You know, probably on the, I don't think it would be standard playable, but it's kind of on the border there is something that's kind of interesting that could be. All right. Skyclave Apparition. By the way, when I'm talking about what's playable or not, I may be talking out my rear end, because I haven't played this in a while. So I totally get that in meta, some cards that, you know, have very niche use cases find a home sometimes and are just awesome. So I don't mean to sound ignorant about that. I just haven't been up to date on the meta. Skyclave Apparition is 1 white. Whenever Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with mana value 4 or less. When Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the mana value of the exiled card. I've noticed that Wizards of the Coast has been putting more and more text on cards. Have you noticed that? Man, and you're like reading a book to figure out what the card actually does. Anyway, let's go for Kaladesh Remastered. All right, we got the Cultivator's Caravan. Tap to add 1 mana of any color, and Crew for 3. It costs 3 mana to play. Kaldheim. Oh, there's a Rune of Flight. 1 in a blue. Enchant permanent. When Rune of Flight enters the battlefield, draw a card. As long as the enchanted permanent is a creature has flying. As long as it's a permanent equipment has equipped creature has flying. Okay. Anyway. Oh, look at that. We just got ourselves a Planeswalker. Kaya, the Inexorable. 3 white, black. Oh, man. Okay, so the +1 is put a ghost form counter on up to 1 target non-token creature. It gains when this creature dies or is put into exile, return it to its owner's hand and create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Wow. Wow, that's just asking for some like cool stuff to happen. -3, exile target non-land permanent, so it's good removal. Oftentimes when you're playing cards like this, you just come in and -3 it and get rid of some crazy thing. That's what I've noticed a lot with Planeswalkers. And then that -7 there, get an emblem with at the beginning of your upkeep. You may cast a legendary spell from your hand, from your graveyard, or from among cards you own in exile without paying its mana cost. Whoa, you start to get to play for free. So this deck definitely wants you to be playing legendary stuff. So that's interesting. Cool. Well, we've got some mythic wild cards, and now we just got a Planeswalker. I'm super thrilled about that. Draugr Necromancer, 3 and a black. It's a snow creature. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead. You may cast spells from among cards in exile your opponent's control with ice counters on them, and you may spend mana from snow sources as though they were mana of any color to cast those spells. That's really cool. And it's a 4/4 for 4. Huh. That's a good way to get card advantage. It does feel kind of slow to me though, but it could be really, really powerful. Let's say if you're playing some kind of like black control deck and this is what you're using to basically just steal your opponent's creatures. It's kind of cool. Waking the Trolls, 4 red, green. 1 is destroy target land. Okay. That's always really powerful. Oh my gosh, that's always really frustrating. But, you know, by the time a 4 red and a green is going to be cast, you know, hopefully that doesn't absolutely screw them. Level 2, put target land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Wow, so you're up 2 lands basically. And 3, choose target opponent. If they control fewer lands than you, create a number of 4/4 green troll warrior creature tokens with trample equal to the difference. That's interesting. Okay, definitely a niche case, but cool. All right, Strixhaven. And these are the last 3 packs. Wow, look at that art. I love that. Oh, that is so cool. Snakeskin Veil is an instant. Costs 1 green. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control against hexproof. Okay. All right. Teachings of the Archaics, 2 and a blue. If an opponent has more cards in hand than you, draw 2 cards. Draw 3 cards instead if an opponent has at least 4 more cards in hand than you. I don't like that you have to be down for that to work. Man, some of these cards look so cool. Weather the Storm, you gain 3 life. Storm. Huh? Wow. Storm. Oh my gosh, Storm is such a cool mechanic. And we just got a legendary creature. Jadzi, Oracle of the Arcavios. 6 and blue. So it costs 8 to cast. My gosh. Discard a card, return Jadzi, Oracle of Arcavios to its owner's hand. And Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it by paying 1 rather than paying its mana cost. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. How are you ever going to get this thing out? There's got to be a way to cheat it out, right? And then there's the sorcery, 2 green. You may put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield, and then if you control 8 or more lands, you may discard a card. If you do, return Journey to the Oracle to its owner's hand. Huh. So that's a really interesting kind of card there. I'll have to learn more about how it works. Because I haven't seen Magecraft, although we have a little hint there. This ability triggers when you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell. Huh, okay. One more pack. Here we go, what do you think it is? Stone Rain! Another card that destroys land. This is a classic legendary card in Magic the Gathering. Just very, very good for keeping your opponent from getting out of hand if they have special lands that do a lot of things. Good sideboard card if they have special lands, but also a card that can be used in decks that just destroy lands. There's been a number of decks like that out there from time to time. All right, well, cool. That was a ton of fun. I cannot wait to get into MTG Arena here, and hopefully some of you will be on too. If you've never played Magic the Gathering, it's a really cool way to learn. They'll walk you through it. The tutorial is nice and easy. Very, very fun game. Obviously, you have a way to get a ton of packs here. So again, check the description of this video if you want to get the free packs. And if you haven't already, please consider liking the video, subscribing, hitting that bell notification so that you know when I drop new videos or go live. You know the deal. And I will catch you in the next one.